Hello everybody, it's Bets Golden. Today I'm with you with a really fun project. I want to make this for my mom. She is a chicken fanatic and I thought it was so darling. So I saw this transfer with Chalkology, and it also comes with this funny kitchen clothes. The Heifers had it, and I used ink on it, so that's why it's all marked up, but it doesn't affect the transfer at all. So I made a set for my sister, as well as a cute chalkboard I made for her kitchen upon her request, and I thought it'd be fun to make this for my mom. What's so fun about this is not only can you put this on your wall, but you can also use it as a hot plate. So if you have something like a big casserole dish, because sometimes I get those, and I just, putting it on one of those little ceramic tiles is like that big, just doesn't do it. But she can pull this down and use it on the table as well. So I think it's pretty clever. This will not all fit on here in the center like I want it. It could fit off to the side, but I don't want that. So I'm going to leave the chicken off of this. I mean, it's the shape of a chicken, so you get the picture. I haven't used this one yet, so I do have to fuzz it. The back of it has been marked, so I know after I'm done using it and I clean it what side I need to put this on so I can reuse it again. These transfers are wonderful. You can get between 20 to 40 uses off of them, which is fantastic. So it's a really good use. I think it's $9 I paid for this transfer, and if I can use it on even just 10 projects, I feel like I've gotten my money's worth on it. I'm going to be using the Couture ink today, not the chalk, because I want this to be permanent and I want her to be able to set things on it and wipe it down. I'm going to be laying the bottom of this first. I just linted the back. I've fuzzed the back with my pants, and as you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but this is a textile. Right in here, this is a screen print, so right in here is some netting, and it's important that I lay this a certain way and I lift it a certain way because I don't want to stretch my image. I want to use this several times. I'm going to lay the bottom first down. It's the center. And then I will lay the word wicked after that. Make sure that this is about right. This is the hardest part for me, is just getting it all straight and where I want it. Okay, so I fuzzed it, and what that does is it just allows it not to stick and adhere to my surface. And Chalk Couture has beautiful surfaces that you can work with. However, I find better surfaces and things that I want at my local Hobby Lobby or Michael's. This I found at Michael's. Regular price on this was $10. I paid $5 for it because it was 50% off. Can't beat that. Okay, so I am working with the ink, which means that I do need to be a little bit careful. Not as careful as I would if I was on a canvas or a cloth surface, because it will wipe up with some water before I set it. So just keep that in mind. But I don't want to necessarily have it all over my fingers. I'm going to do... well, I was going to do chicken in red, but I think I'm going to do chicken in white. And then I'm going to do lay deviled eggs. Well, deviled eggs I should do in red. Chicken and lay I should do in white. And then we'll do wicked in black. Let's see if I can remember that. So this is the Couture ink, and it's going to have to heat set. I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute, but first I'm going to lay it all out, or the bottom piece out first, and then we'll heat set it and move on to the top. So I want to be a little bit careful as I put my ink down. Oopsie, like right there. That wasn't smart. However, if I just take a little bit of moisture, it comes right up. If that was on a canvas bag, it would not necessarily do that. Okay, I'm going to turn it sideways because that's how I work. I'm left-handed, so I hope you don't mind. I also thought that this image would be really adorable on an apron. So I might make for her an apron as well with this, and then maybe some tea towels or something. Wouldn't that be cute? All right. I just hope I don't offend her, because she is a religious woman, and I think this is funny. I think she'll think it's funny too. I hope she does. I don't know. I sent my sister an email and or a text message, and I'm like, I made you the heifer set, and I want to make Mom the chicken one, but it says this. What do you think? And she'll tell me. She'll be like, yes or no. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just cover this up. The thing that's different about this ink is it is a little bit slower drying, so I'm not going to have to mist it every time. And the reason why I don't want to mist it with water like I do the chalk paste all the time is because I don't want it to get too loose. If I notice that it's starting to get dry or get a little bit thicker, then I'll go ahead and spritz that water in there. But until then, I'm just going to simply make sure that I put this casing back over the top and seal it up relatively quickly, or as quick as I can. This, like I said, this is a slower dry, so I do have a little bit of time to work with it, which is nice. But it will still dry eventually, and once it's dry, it's dry. Oh, yes, I was going to do black on this, red on the other one. Right? Nope, I got it backwards. Oh, well. See? All right, so I'm just going to take my corner piece of this now, my squeegee. The things that I would suggest that you get to get started with chalking is a squeegee like this. Some people do use a credit card. I like this better. It tends to push the ink around and the chalk around into that screen print easier than a credit card would. It smooshes it down quite nicely. And then, of course, I would do my transfers through Chalkology. They're beautiful. They hold up well. And then I would do the ink and the paste. And those are really the only three things that you need to get started that you could get from Chalkology. You also want to have on you Q-tips for cleanup when you're working with chalk, and then craft sticks, which as you've seen me lay out the ink with. If you have those things, you are doing good. Okay. And I'm just picking up that black. And I'm still trying to save as much of it as I can. Okay. Go ahead and seal that up. I'm going to lift this and I'm going to clean it as I kind of let it dry enough so I can iron it and set it. And then we will move on to the Wicked. So let's lift it. Ooh, you know what? I noticed that I got some of my black where that white is. Let me see if I can fix that. I might not be able to. We might have to have a gray lay. And I'm not pulling from the corners, I'm pulling down like so. Okay, so I'm gonna let that kind of set up a little bit before I dry it because I need it a little bit dry before I run my ironing board over it. And I'm just over here on the side. I just took my surface cleaner, sprayed it on there. I'm gonna take my water as well. And getting that off for now. And it did stain, but it doesn't ruin my transfer at all. It's totally fine. It will still do its job. Now on the back side, I need to be careful. I need to just gently go over it with my wet paper towel. I don't want to pull it too much because I don't want to stretch my transfer. Just want to make sure that I remove that ink so that I can still use it. You need parchment paper to set this. So you're going to take parchment paper, and I already have a sheet ready to go, and you're going to layer it over the image. You can use your parchment paper several times, just like when you bake. I'm going to layer that over the image as a barrier, and then I'm going to take my iron and just set it on. We are not pressing it, ironing it. We are just literally pressing it on the image to get it to set into place. And this will cause your wood or whatever you're working on to get a bit hot. So you will have to give it a minute before you lay your next image down. I don't think it'll damage the transfer if you lay it on a hot image, but I'm not sure, so I'd rather just be safe than sorry. I needed to set this image before I layer my word wicked, because if I don't set it, I have to layer my transfer over it, and it will lift, so I don't want that. So this just allows that transfer to be set into the wood, and it's going to be nice and permanent. Yeah, it is. And I need to let it cool. It is really hot, so, and I need to add my wicked to it. Want to make sure you get all those air bubbles out. It still is kind of hot on the bottom, so I'm just worried about this top part. I don't really want to run it in there. All right. And we're going to do the red on this. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and lift this, and then we'll go ahead and let that dry for a minute before we set it. And again, I'm lifting it not from the corners because we don't want to stretch it. That is really cute. I love it. Oh my God. I hope my mom likes it and doesn't get mad. Okay, so with your transfers, all you have to do is you just take a craft mat, and I spray it with the surface cleaner first, gently go over it with a paper towel. I use the Laundress surface cleaner. No, they don't pay me to say that. This just is the one I like. And then I wipe down the front first, and then I do the same on the back, and then I go over the front with a spray of water, do the same thing the back with a spray of water, and wipe it down 2 times, let it sit on the back to dry, and then you are good to go. I don't think I need to take this into the sink. I have removed all of that ink, so I think I'm good with that. For these little guys, the popsicle craft sticks, of course, go in the trash. And then I like to take my surface cleaner and just spray down both sides of this and wipe it down pretty good and then set it aside. So one of my qualms that I've had with Chalk Couture was that it was so messy and it required me to run back and forth to my sink, but I have discovered that it really doesn't. You can do your cleanup right as you wait for things to set up and dry. So you really don't have to run back and forth to the kitchen to clean things. You can do it right where you are. If you have water and a surface cleaner, you get it right when it's wet. And your transfers just, they hold up fine. So just cleaning these off. And then of course, before I lay anything down on this, I'm gonna have to get my fingers. If this was chalk, I wouldn't have to be so worried about it, but I don't want to set anything messy on this. This, oh, that looks like it's dry. All right, so I'm gonna lay the iron on that, and as this is setting up, I'll show you what to do with your transfer. So I'm gonna put this up here, get my ink out of the way. Okay. And that's gonna go right there. All right, so with your transfer, you're just gonna take, once this is tacky again, you're going to take that piece of paper that it came on and you mark the back. The back is a little bit more matte and the front is glossy. You want that glossy side to stick to your transfer. So you're just going to line it up. Doesn't have to be perfect necessarily. Just want the gist of it. And there you go. It's all ready to be used again. I'm not worried about this right here. No big deal. That's just the ink that's stained. I noticed that the black does it. The other colors that I have used have not. So that's interesting. I haven't used them all, but I've used the green, the yellow, the white, and the red. I haven't used any of my metallics yet. So, but anyway, I just store them in here. And I think I'm going to use this transfer to make an apron as well to match this. And then maybe some some little tea towels, you know, for the kitchen. I think that'd be really cute. What a fun Christmas gift or Mother's Day gift or birthday gift for somebody, you know? Or, you know, even a Father's Day gift would be kind of funny too with the same. Let's see how we're doing here. Almost, a little bit wet, but it's almost dry. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Also, please subscribe if you haven't done so and share my videos if it's something that you think someone would enjoy. If you're interested in Chalk Couture, please use the website that I provided. It is my website, it is my business, and I would appreciate if you got anything from this and you want to pick up any of the Chalk Couture that you use it. I will be happy to answer any questions that you have regarding chalking in general, if I know. Oh, hot. And that is set up. So, there we go. So freaking cute. Wicked chickens lay deviled eggs. All right, guys, until next time, happy crafting.